I think a lot of people that go that route don't complete it.
No, there's actually people right now, Mr. Leo, that went into an ENT program and they didn't like the bulliness and the harshness and they quit.
The reality of it, right?
Oh, I mean, it's not fun. Listen, I was stuck at the hospital before the Bell Commission. I was there for 48 hours.
Wow.
They're like, hey, Mike, how long have you been here? And I said, honestly, I've been here for 2 days. And I said, what have you been doing? Oh, I've been showering in the men's locker, eating leftover whatever, because there was nothing there. I mean, Coney Island, Brooklyn, that was like the war zone of Brooklyn.
Wow.
Trauma. It was all old Russian.
I know the area well.
Yeah, old Russian. And honestly, sometimes we didn't have access to food. I would drink sterile water from the OR just to get water because there was nothing available.
Welcome to another episode of Out of the System. I'm your host, Leo Climaco. Today's guest is a board-certified doctor, someone who has literally helped change my wife's life, Dr. Michael Choi.
Thank you, Mr. Climaco, for giving me the opportunity to come on your podcast. It's a great honor, and getting to know you and your wife has been a pleasure.
The honor has been all mine. Doctor, I want to get to know a little bit about you.
Sure.
Let's start way, 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 way back.
Okay.
I want to know, who was Michael Choi in high school?
Okay, that's a great question. So I am from Korean descent, my culture. My mom and dad came here on, my dad came here on a student visa.
Wow.
From Korea. And it's a very interesting thing, Mr. Leo. He was a mechanic for a 5-star general.
That's awesome.
And so when the war and the end of the war back then, the general goes, Young, that's my dad's name. He goes, what do you want to do? Whatever you want, we'll do it. He goes, well, General, I want to study in the United States. And back in the day, whatever the general says, you'd sign, and he came here.
That's incredible.
And then my mom and dad worked very hard. They did very weird, odd jobs. And then I was born and raised in 1970 here in Florida. And then I started studying in school. Then I went to Ransom Everglades down in South Miami. Very fortunate, great school. I think it was just like, it was just very direct, very aggressive, meaning that they only wanted to put out great people in the future.
I love that.
And all the doctors, lawyers, business people like you, who have attention in the local community, and that's all they put out, and that's where my seed started. Went to Tulane University in New Orleans, did a lot of Mardi Gras, a lot of Jazz Fest. Then came back to Nova University Med School back then in the day. Then went to New York to do my general surgery, Mr. Leo, and then finally went to UC Davis in California for my laparoscopic or bariatric training, and came back to Florida.
How long is that process?
Oh, so you're looking at 4 years of undergrad, 4 years of med school, 5 years or 6 years of residency.
Wow.
And then you're looking at 1 more year of fellowship. So you're looking at about close to 15, 16 years.
Do you get paid when you're doing your residency?
That's a very, very good question. So back in the day, it's been a long time, almost 20 years, I would get paid for my surgical residency $30,000
A year?
a year.
Okay.
Right? That was not great, but it wasn't bad because
This was back in the late 80s?
Yeah, actually, in 2005, 2006.
2005, got it.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm not going out and getting, great meals or something like that, but at that time, it wasn't so, you weren't worried about that. You were just worried about becoming a good surgeon or becoming a good doctor. But things have changed. Now the new residents, they make a little bit more, and they're a little bit catered to a little bit than they should be, I think.
Help me pronounce it. Bariatric?
Bariatric surgery, yes,
Bariatric surgery.
Yes, sir.
Is that what you've always wanted to do, or was this, or did you discover it on your journey through med school?
That's another great question, Mr. Leo. So what happened is that I was in a program where laparoscopy or laparoscopic surgery was still coming around.
What is that exactly?
So basically, laparoscopic surgery is basically when you take trocars and you make small little incisions instead of doing the old conventional way where you had to open someone's belly.
Understood.
Right? So we were on the cusp of it. It was becoming a little bit more popular in the 2005, 2006 era. And so, but I felt like I wasn't really trained. I didn't feel comfortable. So that's why I wanted to do another year. So I was very fortunate. I got into UC Davis and they took me in, and then boom, they said, "Hey, Mike Choi, you want to learn about weight loss surgery?" And I said, "Sure, why not? I'm here. I'm learning laparoscopic, might as well." And that was just, it honestly was an accident, Mr. Leo. It was just an accident, and boom, it just took off. Nobody knows, and you never know what's going to happen. That's why you should always keep your mind open.
Yes.
Right, and try to be open to anything that can happen, because I think reading books, and most millionaires and billionaires, yes, has to do with luck. Some of it has to do with luck,
for sure,
but being there at the right time at the right place,
executing.
Yes, absolutely.
The difference in the surgery.
Yes.
Is it more cosmetic, or is there an actual difference in why there's a new version versus cutting you up?
Yes, so that's another great question. So basically, weight loss surgery was meant for people that had type 2 diabetes, hypertension and sleep apnea. And what they noticed was that once they lost 70 to 80% of their weight loss, you also had a 70 to 80% reduction in blood pressure, where you don't take it off, 70, 80%. Reduction of sugars, so you don't have to take any more diabetic medication. And then there's some people who don't even take take their sleep apnea machine and they put it away. But in conjunction with that, you also got a natural, liposuction and tummy tuck, and you also just saw a reduction in inches while you lost the weight.
So it was like a wham bam.
Yes, that's correct. Absolutely. But then, it's not 100%. So that's why some people, they want to look a little bit better. They'll get like tummy tucks, they'll get a BBL, they'll get mommy makeover, or sometimes, I know it's weird, but sometimes women lose their breast or their face because it starts sagging down a little bit, and fat is inside your breast, so they're going to kind of droop. So that's why it's a good conjunction, meaning bariatrics and plastics usually work synergistically.
Makes sense. It makes sense because it's a less invasive surgery.
That's correct. That's
right?
correct.
Do you also heal faster?
Yes. So basically, we heal faster. And funny that you say, I even used the robot called the Vinci, and that was the robot or procedure that I did on your wife.
Wow.
So what's so cool about the Vinci is because you get a little bit closer, you can see a little bit better, you get to see 3D, and what happens, you cut a little bit better, and that's why people get a little bit better results, in my opinion.
That's so cool. Okay, so how long has the Vinci been around?
So the Vinci actually has been around for a long time. So it's been through my fellowship in 2006.
Got it.
And it's been and it was a little bit before that. And the joke around is that the rep was like, "Hey man, if you have a little bit more money, you can buy some stock in this." And if I did, I would be a gazillionaire now, right?
True.
But the main point is that everything that happens meets resistance a little bit.
Of course.
Right? And in medicine, it's kind of all doctors are going to be the same way. We're so superstitious. Like, we like to use the same material, same instruments, have the same girls, have the same people in the thing, just like I'm sure baseball players and soccer players. Like,
routine.
We want to wear our same underwear, but it's dirty. But no, that's my luck. That's my lucky. Yeah, but that was, so it met some resistance, but now, due to the future of AI and stuff like that, Mr. Leo, everything is just blowing up in that side, and it's fortunate and unfortunate. A lot of humanoid robots are probably going to take some doctors' positions in the future, like radiology.
What's the time span that you see that happening?
So I think they said radiology would be 2 to 5 years. I think it's going to be faster than that.
Really?
Yeah, because they can upload, Mr. Leo, all the data for 25, 30 years of all the films that they have in their database,
Right.
in their cloud, and they put it up.
You can't even compare it.
No, and I mean, humans are smart, but we're not that smart, right? And so what happens is the robot or AI can actually predict more cancers than a human could.
Wow.
And save more lives.
That's incredible. It's great on one side,
Yeah.
but terrible on the other.
Yeah, yeah.
Because so many people are going to lose their jobs.
Absolutely, and that's a very good question. And the other thing is, I don't know if you've heard, but Johns Hopkins have had 5 robots do successful gallbladder surgeries.
I have not heard that.
Yes, and so
Are these robotic arms or actual humanoid type robots?
human type robots?
Wow.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Like, when you see Star Wars and all that stuff, and you see all these space sci-fi
Yes,
stuff, it's gonna become reality. You're gonna have someone, but the thing is that there's still a lot of data to catch up with that, because there's always going to be a complication, but not many people, want complications. But there's an old adage: if you don't operate, you don't get complications.
Right.
So it's going to happen, but the radiology thing, in my opinion, is gonna be a lot faster, because, as you know, Leo, who they said, oh, there will never be a self-driving car. It'll be 5 to 15 years.
They're everywhere.
They're everywhere now. Yeah, it's so fast. It's so fast, Leo. It's gonna be a game changer for everything.
Okay, paint me a picture.
Yeah.
I want to be able to visualize you at the operating table.
Yes.
So my understanding is that you're controlling the Vinci.
Yes.
And the Vinci's arm is the one that's penetrating through the body.
That's correct.
Got it.
That's correct. So what happens is that we need to make the incisions, and then after then we dock the robot. So we bring the robot to the bedside.
So you make the cuts first.
That's correct.
Got it. Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And then from there, I go into this little console, and then where I control the arms and stuff like that. And then that's where I do the operation.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's very cool.
It's really cool, and it's the future. And what happens is that the robot adds a lot to the surgery, because there's always going to be limits when you do it laparoscopically. Limits meaning that you can't get to a certain area, because those trocars or incision sites are fixed, finite. You can't move, because there's always going to be a limit because of the human body. But when you use the robot, you can move the robot and everything inside a little bit more and get less limitations, so you can have less restrictions to do on the surgery. If you can understand that.
I can. I would think it'd be the opposite, but no, it's actually the other way around.
Yes, and fortunately, if you are a bigger patient, and it's not only meant for bariatrics, we use it for gallbladders, we use it for colorectal, we use it for OB-GYN. So bigger patients, it's a blessing to use a robot, because it helps you get the surgery and less problems and less complications, because you're able to access the area and target the area that you want to operate on.
That's incredible. Did you ever play video games?
So yeah, that's a very good question. I don't know if Atari, I'm a little bit older, so I don't know if Atari makes it, but yeah, I played Atari and stuff like that. I think everyone plays video games now, right?
Yeah, for sure.
It's a new thing to do, and and a lot of people don't like to go out as much, and they like to stay home. So I think if I'm reading your mind correctly, yes, I think video games do enhance your ability to become a better robotic surgeon.
I read a study that they said that 33% of surgeons who played video games are better surgeons.
Really?
Because it increased their hand-eye coordination.
Yeah.
And they were able to see more of the screen.
Yes.
Because things move very fast.
Yes.
I thought it was very interesting.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, there's going to be, the robot can, believe it or not, the platform also, you can do a surgery from a different country
I heard that.
and then have it. I don't know how kosher that is, but it's been done. So what they do is
crazy.
they have a and then I know for a fact at certain hospitals they have one consult and they just change the plugins to all the operating rooms, and that one surgeon operates in 8 different operating rooms in one day, and he just sits at the consult.
That's
After they put in all the
insane.
they put all the trocars in.
I used to be an IT tech.
Okay.
I was an IT director, IT
Nice.
manager for a long time. And that reminds me of what I used to do. So I sat in my command center
Yes.
and I would log into different computers
Yes.
and fix them.
Absolutely. That's what I think is going to happen, and I think the increase in telehealth and all those things, you know, it's like even you know, Back to the Future when they were like, you know, when you
Yes.
saw the screen, the doctor would come up and say, "Hey, you're at your appointment." That's going to be the future.
Where do you think telehealth is going?
Oof.
Do you see that taking over, or do you see it still
Yes.
being a hybrid method?
No, it's
No?
going to be the future.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, people don't have the means and access that they used to. So I think telehealth is going to provide the people who are in rural areas,
Yeah.
or even if they don't have a car, or they
Right.
don't, and they have more access to doctors. And I think that's what we need to help more people in the world.
I agree. I think there's a lot of people that lack access to really good doctors.
Yes, yes, and it's becoming harder and harder, Leo, because I don't, you know, it's really weird to say, but like, you know, medicine's gotten really, really hard. It's not what it's meant to be. Like say, oh, you're a doctor, you know, you must be doing well and all that stuff. It hasn't done that, because what happens is medicine has become more of a profit industry. And I know people don't like to say that or hear
Yeah.
that, and I'm not trying to be political here, but they have to take that out. Okay, healthcare should be accessible to everyone, irregardless. Like I still take ER call at a hospital.
That's awesome.
But if the patient doesn't have insurance or not, I don't even look at that, right? But it's unfortunate that they don't have that ability.
for you, doctor.
Yeah, if they don't have that ability, so you know, whatever the case may be, we'll do the surgery,
Right.
make sure the patient's 100%, and that's fine.
We'll figure out the rest later.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll figure out the rest later. If you can pay me $50, you want to give me eggs, you want to whatever. That's not the problem, but it is a concern for people, and I think that healthcare should be available for everyone.
How do we change it?
Oof, that's a very good question. You know, it's unfortunate that I've been at hospitals where CEOs have changed 4 or 5 times.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's not, and yeah, maybe I might be committing Harry or suicide. But the thing is that you've got to have someone at the top who is a doctor or who understand what's going on. Okay. Because most of the time, you know, nothing wrong with that, but that's just the way the world is going.
No, I agree.
Okay. Because like I know there's some people who have no healthcare experience, but they're the CEO, but they got their degree. That's fine. But there's no management ability, and they leave it to someone
How
else.
does that make sense?
It doesn't.
To own a law firm, you must be a lawyer.
Yes.
To own a CPA firm, you must be a CPA. To own our ABA therapy agency, you must be a board certified behavior analyst.
I don't know. You're absolutely correct, Leo. And as I said, some places it works, but there's such a lack of guidance from the top, and they don't understand, you know, what the real gist of a hospital is, right? And some of them care, some of them don't care, but believe it or not, most of them are not even in the hospital. So when you go to the C-suite, we call it the C-suite, you know, there are other people there. Sometimes the CEO is not even there. He's trying to gain more connections and networking, and not really worried about what's going on in the hospital, unfortunately.
I think that's so counterintuitive, right? I think if you put more energy into the hospital, hey, if you work with digital marketing, online sales, or manage clients, you know the right tool makes all the difference. I use Go High Level, and I can guarantee that this all-in-one tool brings results for all my clients. With CRM, email, SMS, automation, scheduling, landing pages, and sales funnels, integrated and easy to use, management becomes simple, productivity increases, and campaigns perform way better. If you want to grow in an organized and efficient way, access my link and see how Go High Level can also change the way you work and sell. It's going to attract people.
Right.
Instead of you going chasing.
Yes. And then there's that old saying too, you need to be embedded or have some responsibility inside, right?
100%.
If it's not your,
You got to have skin in the game.
exactly. If you don't have any skin in the game, Leo,
You don't care.
we don't care.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's the premise.
No, I get it.
But
It's more profit-based than people-based.
yes, because they need to, and some hospitals have to pay their shareholders before they pay themselves.
Why is that even allowed for a hospital to be built in that manner that it has shareholders?
Because what happens is greed, and the economy of the thing of the world. I don't know. I mean, I don't. We were just joking with some of my buddies the other day who are also physicians. They're like, "Well, what are you going to do when you get old? And who are you going to trust when you have general surgery?" And I say, "God, I hope my colleagues are still alive."
Yes.
You know, there's been, I could tell you so many stories that I've heard from other surgeons, and you would balk.
Wow.
Yeah.
Would you be able to tell me if overall our health system is better than other countries?
Yes.
Putting aside that it's not free, putting aside that it's expensive, the overall healthcare, is it better?
I believe we're the best in the world. Germany's pretty good too. However, I know that our technology is incredible, and it's unfortunate that back in the day, I don't see malpractice as being the reason why healthcare costs us so much.
Right.
It's just that everything is expensive, Leo. Nothing is cheap anymore, the
equipment, the machines,
and
salaries,
and our training versus people from other countries. Nothing wrong with it. But I think that if you train in the United States and you train in New York, LA, Chicago, the big hubs, you're going to see more pathology. What I mean by that, you're going to see more people from Brazil. You're going to see more people from France, New York, Spain, and stuff like that. Here in Miami, fortunately, we only see the Latin community, right? So it's nothing bad.
Right.
But there is, education-wise, if you go through the world, we're definitely still top. I mean, our training is beyond anybody else's.
Would you say that we've trained most of the world's doctors?
That I know for a fact in plastic surgery we have, because there's a lot of Koreans who do their plastic surgeries up in Cornell. When I was in New York, Cornell, NYU, all these great. And yes, even when they go to Sloan Kettering, you're going to see fellowships from students and doctors from Germany, from France, from Latin countries, like anywhere down south. They come and they learn.
Colombia, Brazil.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And there's a lot of Brazilians, not saying that they're not good surgeons, but I think that the ability, when you see more, you're going to be able to adequately diagnose and treat someone better.
For sure. Right. Experience.
Yep. Absolutely.
Speaking of experience, how long have you been a doctor?
Okay. So that's a great question. So I will be coming up to my 20th year in general surgery bariatrics.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Did you always want to be a doctor?
So I guess I was kind of, since first generation, I was kind of forced into it.
Got it.
But I always wanted to do something, but my dad was a mechanic. So he says, let's see how much you want to become a mechanic. and he made me shut the door for about a month. Didn't like it. And then when I got my pay stub, it was like a couple $100. I'm like, yeah, but Pete is the manager. He makes, and I did exactly whatever. And I said, no, you close the door. Yes, you clean the toilets. You did everything, but that's not what it is. And I said, you know what? I have a lot of my family background. We have a lot of doctors in Korea. And I said, you know what? I'm going to give it a shot. You know, always always aim high. And if you falter, then you can go into something else. But you can't, when you start low, you can't climb.
Right.
Right? Start from the bottom, you can't climb. But if you shoot up and then you want to come down, you can always come down. But so that's what I'm very grateful to my parents and the support that they gave me. And I was, listen, I'm very grateful to God. I was very fortunate. I'm blessed. And I'm lucky because not everybody who says, hey, I want to become a doctor can go and become a doctor.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I think a lot of people that go that route don't complete it.
No, there's actually people right now, Mr. Leo, that went into an ENT program and they didn't like the bulliness and the harshness, and they quit.
The reality of it, right?
Oh, I mean, it's not fun. Listen, I was stuck at the hospital before the Bell Commission. I was there for 48 hours.
Wow.
They're like, hey, Mike, how long you been here? And I said, honestly, I've been here for 2 days. And I said, what have you been doing? Oh, I've been showering in the men's locker, you know, eating leftover whatever, because there was nothing there. I mean, Coney Island, Brooklyn, that was like the war zone of Brooklyn, trauma. You know, it was all old Russian.
I know the area well.
Yeah, old Russian. And honestly, sometimes we didn't have access to food. I would drink sterile water from the OR just to get water because there was nothing available. But it's changed a lot. You know, that's my story. And I'm not trying to get, tears and stuff like that. But I'm just trying the reality.
You've been through the trenches.
I've been through it. And, and there was times where, in New York, when it turns down at 6 o'clock, it becomes night.
Yeah.
I come back post-call, was so exhausted, I just passed out on the bed.
Wow.
And then I woke up and I said, oh my God, I'm late because it was dark. And then I realized.
So you're already there?
No. I'm home, and I said, I'm post-call. I can stay in my bed. I don't need to go back to the hospital because I thought it was 7 a.m. the next day that I thought I was going to miss my rounds with my attendings. And so I was like, oh my God, I'm late. And then I said, wait a minute, I just got back home. So it was demoralizing. And it's not like that anymore. It's still strenuous, but it's not, because the Bell Commission, you're only allowed to work 80 hours limit now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you share with us a crazy ER story? Something that stood out to you that you're like, man, that was a crazy night.
Yeah, there's been a couple. Good story. Coney Island, 2006, 2007. Trauma comes in, and before NYPD's there on station all the time at this institution. And so what happens? He's been shot up, and he's still talking. He's still alive, and we're like, Mr. So-and-so, if you have any guns, you need to take them or give them to us before we enter into this next room. If you don't, you'll be automatically arrested after what we perform, right? He goes, no, Doc, I don't have any guns and whatever. But in trauma, when you go in and you put them into the Bay Area, you have to strip them down, meaning you have to be you have to be in your
naked.
Birthday suit.
Yeah.
You have to figure that out, right?
Yeah.
Once we pulled his pants down and his underwear, 3 9mm Glocks come in.
3?
Yes, sir.
Not just one.
No, 3 of them dropped down. He was been shot up. We have to go there. We put him back together. All right. Thought he wouldn't survive. Survived, and then he had to go to jail.
Wow.
But that's one of the stories. Yeah.
Would you say that he was in a state that he was like delirious and didn't know he had the gun, or was he lying?
No, but I'm sure he was in a state of shock. But once, I think most people, once you're confronted that, listen, you have 2 choices here, you're going to make the choice. And some people sometimes make the good choice, and sometimes make the wrong choice. But I think that he was definitely in pain, anxious, but he knew what we were asking.
Right.
But then we gave him the option, and but the police were right there and then there. So I mean, you can't get around it.
No.
That's what I think people have the lack in this day and age. They really don't think through of what's going on. They just act with the heat of the moment. Sometimes you need to calm down and say, what's really going to happen if I don't follow this person's rules or follow this person's commands? Because they don't think about the outcome. They just think about the present tense. And that's what sometimes people get into big trouble, more trouble than they should be.
Makes sense. 20 years. How many surgeries?
5,000, over 5,000 surgeries.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah. Tired.
I bet.
Yeah.
How long is each surgery? Has it gotten shorter over the years?
Yeah. So I think that my consult time is about 30 minutes.
Okay.
I don't look for it. It's just the way we do it. So I can usually a good day for me, not for time, is getting 4 surgeries by 2:30.
Wow.
Yeah.
4 surgeries by 2:30.
Yeah. 4 by 2. That was a joke. Yeah.
I like that. 4 by 2.
Yeah.
That's incredible, doctor.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't even imagine being a surgeon.
You know what? It's so hard.
Yeah, I
mean,
bet.
and not even that, but it's just gotten harder because now we have more paperwork. I mean, we have to go to the computer, and you have to have all these things and fill everything in, and if it's not, then you have to finish it, otherwise it doesn't get recorded.
Wow.
And we are the only profession, Leo, you're gonna love this, that we don't get paid 90 to 120 days. We don't get paid the same day.
Really?
Yeah. So imagine you and I go to Joe's Stone Crabs with your wife, and we have a nice meal, and we say to Joe, "Hey, I'll pay you in 90 to 120 days." They'd be like, "No."
That's crazy. Why is it like that?
It's the billing. That's the way it's been. And then we might not get paid because the code is wrong.
I hate that.
So then they say it's a very tough business. That's why you have to have a good biller. And then sometimes you might be doing surgeries for free, even though surgery went well, the patient's doing fine, and the insurance company just don't want to pay.
Why?
It's their right.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And then it's...
If we can appeal, but then they'll say, oh, it's out of the 120 days, so go fish.
So then it becomes your responsibility to go after and collect after the patient, if you wanted to.
If you wanted to,
Right.
but they're not gonna,
Right.
Because they're gonna be like, you were, you're foolish because of that. But I said, but it doesn't matter, because it's your responsibility. But that's the game.
Right.
I mean, United Healthcare made what, $3 billion last year?
I mean, wasn't that the CEO that got killed?
That's correct. Yep. Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I think it's horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing for nothing. Violence has no place like that. Violence has no place in any
agree.
time. Okay, but if your wife, kids, your back is against the wall, absolutely, I agree with it. But to go after someone for his or her belief, we're in the best country in the world. You don't go after someone for their opinion.
Right.
And unfortunately, there's going to be, there's been a lot with Charlie Kirk also, unfortunately. But that's where I said the world has changed, has been so lopsided that, we need to come back and meet in the middle and respect each other. I mean, not everyone's going to believe what they believe.
Right. Nor should they.
Yeah, nor should they. If you have every right to do what you want, because this is the best country in the world.
Correct.
However, just because your belief doesn't go with someone else, Leo, doesn't mean that, oh yeah, I'm going to kill him.
Right.
No, that has no place. That has no
I think
place.
America has gotten in a very dark place where
Yes.
we've allowed that to occur, and that's normal now.
You're 100%. You're 100%, and that's got to change.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, that's got to change. We need to be more civil to each other. There, even the civility is not even there when you go to a supermarket.
Right.
And like going and like getting something and you cut someone off, people get so offended by that. And there's no offense to it. You know what I tell my kids? Let them go first, and you'll be okay. Yes, is it the right thing to do? No, but it's the safe thing to do.
Correct.
Okay, it's not about the right or wrong in this day and age. It's how to be safe, Leo.
I agree. I agree.
Even though you lose, but you win. That's what my mom tells me. You're going to lose, but you win.
I don't really think you lose because, listen, by avoiding confrontation,
yes,
you are saving your energy.
Yes.
You're saving your peace.
Yes.
I think you actually just end up winning. It's not really a loss.
Exactly, because you don't know if that guy's got a gun.
Right, especially in Florida.
Yeah, it's an open carry now.
Yes.
So you don't even need that. But what I'm trying to say to you, that's what I really now. It's hard for me to say that too. I know I never say, but I'm a first degree black belt. Was a state wrestler. I know how. I know how to.
So am I.
Oh,
I'm a first degree black belt.
So you understand what I'm trying to talk about. So
what style?
Taekwondo.
That's incredible.
Okay. So what I'm trying to say to you is, yes, could I take the guy? Yes. But in this day and age, why?
Yes.
Why put my kids into trouble if I get knocked out or something happens? Then I'm in a worse position than is.
Correct.
Take my kids' hands. We go exit stage left.
Exactly.
And then we go to another place, and everything is fine. But that's why it's funny. Parents are so smart. You lose, but you win.
Yes. Martial artists are so peaceful.
Yes.
We don't want to fight.
No.
We don't like fighting.
Only until
you have to.
Right,
for sure.
Remember the joke, Mr. Miyagi? If you have to fight, win.
Yes.
But what I'm trying to say to you, I agree with everything, and but there's got to be some type of reset for this whole country, because we're in big trouble.
Yeah.
We're in big trouble.
I don't see that reset happening anytime soon.
No.
I don't see it.
No, there's so much disparity between the left and right, and what's good and what's bad, and people simply don't care, Leo. There was like some video memes on Instagram where someone fell down in the middle of Trafalgar Square in London. Mm-hmm. People are just walking right by. They don't care. There's
no humanity anymore. There's
no respect for life.
No.
Right? Because if there was, you understand that life is precious.
Yeah. But
there is none. They just take it and they're like, okay, well, let's move on to plan B. And you're like, you just took someone's life. That's not good. But that's how I feel. But you and I we might feel the same. But then we go down the street there and be like, no, we're going to take that guy. We're going to do everything that we want to do, and the next day he lives with it. That he's okay with being, hurting someone and doing something wrong.
There's a lot of people that are comfortable with that.
Absolutely.
And they're okay with that.
Yes.
But I think people like you and me pushing out this positive energy counters them.
Absolutely.
I really do. I really do believe that.
Absolutely. We need to be proactive and positivity, abundance, and praying and actually, finding God or finding your religion, irregardless of what religion you are.
I agree.
But you need to find.
It's so important.
It is. And, try to instill that in our kids. Listen, you might not be God-fearing all the time, but they need to know what is good and what's bad.
Correct.
Okay? You don't steal. You don't commit adultery. You don't try to manipulate someone and try to take advantage of somebody.
Right.
Those are the basic premises, irregardless if you're Muslim, Islam, whatever, Catholic.
I agree.
Those are the basics, because it does say that.
Yes, and all of them.
All of them,
yes.
Right? That's the basic,
correct.
Right? So once we get that established and we teach them, at least they know, then they can make their decisions. Now, if they want to still do those kind of things, it's unfortunate, but I don't. But I think they need, because the lack of education on those aspects is what's hurting the people.
I agree. I think a healthy respect, fear of God is required.
Absolutely.
To be able to understand that we're nothing.
Exactly.
We're all the same, we're all humans, and we're all nothing.
Exactly.
There's an entity above us that created us.
Exactly.
And he's the Almighty.
And if you're a billionaire or a regular person, you still get buried in 6 feet.
Exactly.
In a little
you still
coffin.
put your pants on the same way as everybody else.
Exactly. And it doesn't matter. Yes, you've been more fortunate, but however, that's what the lack of education is what's hurting America, I think, in my opinion.
As a podcaster, I needed a place to share my voice and hear other stories. That's how Forge Studios was born. A place created not just for me, but for everyone searching for something more. An environment where as soon as you walk in, you feel the energy and you feel welcomed. Where being seen and heard is part of the experience. A place for entrepreneurs to share their journey, for creators to bring ideas to life, for businesses to grow authentically. A space that values mental health, encourages real conversations, and supports those who turns ideas into impact. Here at the Forge Studios, creativity, culture, and purpose aligns and comes together to help you create something greater. A place where we leave the filters behind and we start expressing ourselves for real. The Forge Studio. Your journey starts here. Your impact starts now. And now we live in these echo chambers, right? Where everyone is just in their little tribe.
Little pods.
Yes.
Exactly. Little areas, and they can survive. As long as they can survive in that, they're okay.
Yeah.
But you take that guy and put him in, then he's going to become a little bit, defensive. Whoa, what's going on? I don't know this place. That's what it is. There's no equality. There's always going to be Darwinism, survival of the fittest, but it's so large and now there's such a big separation.
Yeah. I think it has to include, it has to be a human-led idea first.
Yes.
Right? I think there's too much profits involved. There's too much money involved.
Yes.
A lot of lobbying back and forth for so many different things. I don't know how we fix this.
One step at a time.
Yeah.
Secondly, we've got to help the community.
Yes, I was just going to say the same thing. It starts at home.
Yes. Yes.
Right? How do we teach our children?
Volunteering.
That too.
Right? Volunteering, soup kitchens.
Yes.
I tell my kids Thanksgiving, go and watch them caught, and they're like, "Oh, Dad, the guy's smelly," and I said, "You know what? That's the reality of the world. You need to see that.
Yeah.
If you shun it, if you protect them, they'll never know, and they'll never understand the other side.
Right.
They need to see that
100%.
side. So volunteering, community, and try to be kind to each other. That's the main thing, Leo. I don't know how it is. People stop me all the time in the hospital. Hey, do you know how I can get this? I said, this is not my hospital because things have changed. But no, I said, here's the main lobby. You can go there. But people were like, no, I don't have time. And they just walk right by you. Try to be kind. That's another thing to help people.
I'm going to transition with that kindness to body shaming.
Yes.
Because that goes deep into what you do.
Yes.
How many of your clients would you say come to you because they feel like the world has been unkind to them?
100%. 100%, Leo. So it's a big, big thing. They know they're not part of the world. They go, even when they, the joke, or people make fun of the people when they sit on the bus and they take 2C. Or the plane.
Yeah.
And so once that starts, they get into depression, but it even starts earlier than that. Even in high school, I have younger, 18, 19-year-old kids. They're like, Doc, I don't want to go out. I'd rather just stay in my home, study, and do whatever, because they feel safer. Because once they go, they're like, oh my God, look at so-and-so. he's so overweight, you know, but sometimes, believe it or not, it does have to do with the way they eat, but it's also genetic wise too.
Yes.
You know, and they succumb to that. And but the cool thing about it is when they have weight loss surgery, your perception of yourself when you see yourself in the mirror changes because you start losing weight, you start going to the gym, your depression gets better, disappears. Then you start saying, "Oh my God, I can be a different person." But believe it or not, even if they still lose 80 to 100 pounds, people have also told me they still feel fat, because that's psychological. So that's where the psychological component needs to be a little bit, you know, not all of them. Some of them can handle it, but since they were so damaged, Leo, and when they were younger, and the hurt and prejudice against them, it's really, really hard.
Have you ever read the book Psycho-Cybernetics?
No, I have not.
Really good book.
Really?
Recommended, yes. So the author was a plastic surgeon for a very long time.
Okay.
And he kept discovering that he kept doing surgeries on these women and they were never happy.
Yes.
They were never happy.
Yes.
So he became a psychologist because he said, I'm doing something wrong. I'm in the wrong medicine field. So I'm trying to make these women beautiful and they're not seeing it. They're not accepting it.
Wow.
So he went and became a psychologist to help them mentally and help them how to see their beauty from the inside out.
That's pretty interesting.
Yes. Incredible book.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. And I think that there's a lot of truth to that.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of truth to that.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of problems after the Reagan years when he reduced the ability for people to have access to psychological counseling. And there's a lot of
It's
people.
big.
It's huge. There's a lot of mental issues right now roaming around everywhere.
Yeah.
And, you know, bipolar, you know, people being a little psycho, you know, and hearing things, hearing voices. You know, those are things that need to be corrected by a doctor or a psychoanalyst or someone that can help them and have access. But then there's no access to healthcare.
What do you think about the fact that the U.S., the medical system here, right, we're very specialized and we're not whole body?
So that's a great question also. So it's kind of weird because in the last 4 to 5 years, you're seeing more of a holistic approach. And I think that it's going to be, you're actually seeing more patients get more peptides.
Yes.
Okay, they're doing that. However, I don't know if we're so behind in that aspect of it because I never felt like I know a couple of my buddies who are doctors that take testosterone.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm on it as well.
And I think it's great.
Yep.
But I also think I'm always playing the negative Nancy just a little bit, right? So if the body genetically is shutting it down, right?
Yes.
And you can't get tests, right?
Correct.
And now you're exogenously injecting it to you and you're getting this stuff.
Yep.
What are you turning on that the body wanted to turn off? Meaning that, okay, so why are testosterone levels lowering? Because those can turn on certain things like tumors, cancers, body things and stuff like that. That's my view.
Understand what you're saying.
And then my buddy
Great point.
My buddy was like, I never thought of it that way. And I said, yeah, I'm sure my testosterone level is a little bit low. I'm not as young as I used to be. However, do I think it's a bad thing? No. I think it has to be done. There's going to be like women who have low estrogen during their postmenopausal. I think that has to be analyzed and studied a little bit more. But I know for a fact, yes, we are changing in the world, becoming more holistic. We're taking BPC 1575 for inflammation that we know people that have been taking it and stuff like that. Turmeric, you know, ashwagandha, all these other they're
Reiki.
Yes. Those are the newer things that people have done very well with.
Yeah.
And I think you're right. I think that we need to be more holistic versus just treating that's a tumor. You need surgery. You got to get it out. Why? Why did it happen? We need I'm sure, yeah, they're going to do genetic wise, but there are other alternatives in getting surgery. Some people don't want surgery. They go to Germany. They go to all the countries where it's not FDA so restricted that they can use all these other, like stem cells.
Hey, if you work with digital marketing, online sales, or manage clients, you know the right tool makes all the difference. I use Go High Level, and I can guarantee that this all-in-one tool brings results for all my clients. With CRM, email, SMS, automation, scheduling, landing pages, and sales funnels, integrated and easy to use, management becomes simple, productivity increases, and campaigns perform way better. If you want to grow in an organized and efficient way, access my link and see how Go High Level can also change the way you work and sell.
So those are things that are...
How do you feel about stem cells?
I think they're great.
Yeah.
I think it's awesome. If you can use something from your body to help you rebuild and regenerate,
It's incredible, right?
it's incredible. And I guarantee you it's only going to explode because we talked about the AI stuff. The AI
Oh my God.
computer is going to figure something out.
That we can't even fathom.
We can't even fathom. Yeah, there was sorry about the digression. There was a robot in Japan that they were they're learning to treat military because they want to do that, right?
Of course.
The robot was so smart that it had linked to a satellite, and when they tried to cut off the internet to them, it already linked to the satellite, and they couldn't. They were trying to. This is the wrong word. Try to deactivate or kill the robot. It was in the Japanese news.
I think I saw this a couple days ago.
Yes, and they had to take 5 guys to try to kill a robot that was already trying to learn its own new language and trying to get out of that little...
It's happening.
Now, it's happened.
Terminator.
Exact. Skynet. Yeah. Skynet.
Man. All right, going back to peptides.
Yes.
Let's go into Ozempic.
Yes.
Wait,
GLP.
GLP.
Yes.
GLP.
Semaglutide.
Semaglutides.
Yes, sir.
How do you feel about Ozempic? And products like it?
Okay, so I feel that Ozempic was made for type 2 diabetes.
Yes.
Okay, we know for a fact.
Right.
It's great. I'm not saying it's bad, and I tell all my patients that it's here to stay. But the funny thing is like Viagra, because Viagra was made for blood pressure.
Yes.
And then they had a side effect that affects the man down below.
What a side effect.
Exactly. So I think that GLPs, tirzepatide, Mounjaro, there's going to be rituximab. Those are the future. It depends on what you want to do, right? So it gives us more options. It allows weight loss for people that maybe couldn't get weight loss surgery, because weight loss surgery is kind of is expensive.
Yeah,
average is around $10,000 to $15,000, or you can go to Mexico and get it for $4,000.
Okay.
Okay. So
would you recommend that?
I love my counterparts, and I think that they're great, but there's always good and bad.
Right.
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 But if you have no other option and you're obese, got to do what you have to do.
Right.
Okay?
Roll the dice.
Exactly. And so I think that I'm a proponent for injections. I think it's an entry point. But what I was trying to tell, and I actually had a conversation with your wife, is that there's a lack of education.
Yes.
Because you don't know that these are on, you have to take these for the rest of you life.
Right, like TRT.
Yeah. You can't stop it. Because once you stop it, guess what? You start gaining all your weight back.
They don't tell you that part, do they?
No.
The fine print.
Yeah, but there's a lot of other things, because now you have complications. Blindness, diabetic retinopathy. Blindness.
How is it causing blindness?
So they're saying that it can be the osmolality, because once you use the low sugar, and it causes an inflammation on the optic nerve.
Wow.
And it's irreversible.
Is that part of Ozempic face?
Yes, Ozempic face, Ozempic rear end, Ozempic babies.
What does that mean?
Ozempic babies is because your metabolism is slowed down, that when you take the birth control pill, the efficacy is less. So women who are on Ozempic...
No way.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I did not know about that one.
You can Google it, And
So you got women getting pregnant on birth control because they're on Ozempic.
45, 47.
Wow.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And they also don't tell you also that when you take these drugs, you have injections, you have to exercise, and you have to get
100%.
the certain amount of grams of protein. Because women who haven't been doing that are becoming osteoporotic.
The hair loss.
Hair loss, bone loss. Bone loss is not reversible
No, it's
either.
not.
So, but and then now you
That's
get
crazy.
now you get these semi-glutide compounding companies. You have no idea what they're putting in there. There's always you say good and bad, but you really don't. There's no FDA standard.
Yeah.
And most of them, which I found out last night from the Ozempic guy, said that they're actually being done out of the country. Like Panama City is one of the bigger places where they're making the fake semi-glutides compounded, and they're bringing them here in the United States.
Panama is also big on stem cells.
Yes.
So they're leading that front like crazy.
So is St. Bart's and Anguilla right
Yes.
across in those areas because they're not on U.S. territory.
Right. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Wow. Where do you see the future of weight loss going? Do you see this being it, or do you see a next level? Is there a next step, or are we at the ceiling?
So I think that we might have reached our finality in surgery-wise. We can improve it. I know they're starting to use magnets, and they're trying to use magnetics and putting it down the esophagus and stomach and maneuvering the magnetics so that it doesn't have to be so severe, as invasive as it is.
That can't be healthy, having magnet in your body.
Yeah, but then it makes an anastomosis. So they're trying to improve those things. But I'm not too sure. But I would think that no surgery's going to, I don't think there'll be another surgery change in the next 5 to 10 years. But there will be medication changes for sure.
That makes sense.
Okay, I'm not saying unless something brand new comes, but I'm not too sure what that would be. Surgical wise, medical wise, limitless. Just like that. So, sorry, we talk about movies a lot, but I'm a big movie freak.
Same.
That you take a pill,
limitless pill, yes,
and limitless pill, and you become smart. There's going to be something like that, and AI is going to figure something out. I think
I've heard that there are so many things like that. When NAD first came out,
that's correct.
I was told NAD's that limitless pill.
Yes,
it's great. I love NAD.
Yes.
But I don't think it's that limitless pill.
No. But there is something. I know there's something out there.
Yeah.
Listen. The government there's something there.
It's true.
I know there's a cure.
Yeah.
I know in my heart there's a cure for cancer. I know there is, right?
Didn't Russia say that they recently just...
Russia or China? I know.
One of the two.
Yes,
I think it was Russia.
Yes, that
Yeah, the cure for cancer.
But pharmaceutical lobbyists
Buried it,
right? I'm sure... I wouldn't be surprised, Leo, that there might be a plant that you make a tea out of and it'll cure everyone's cancer.
There might be.
And then we're just, because think about it. When you take chemotherapy, right? You're starving the body. Yes, you're
literally
killing the body.
Yeah, literally.
You're not really killing. You are killing part of the tumor cells, but you're not really curing the person. You're killing the human body.
Yesterday, I interviewed a couple, Anthony and Teresa Lally. They are the producers of a documentary called Biohack Yourself on Prime. And they began the whole journey because she was sick, he was sick, her daughter was sick, her son was sick. And no doctor could figure out what was wrong with them. So they went on this search of interviewing doctor after doctor after doctor, trying to find out how to cure what they had. Her daughter had a tumor in her neck.
Wow.
For like 2-3 years.
Wow.
This ball that just kept growing, and they had no idea what it was.
Wow.
They found a clinic in San Diego that was doing hydrogen bathing.
Yes.
They put her through that for 7 days. 7 days later, the tumor was gone.
Wow.
The hydrogen apparently went into her cells and bathed and cleaned every cell in her body
I've heard of
and
that.
detoxified it.
I've heard of that. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. I've heard of that.
Insane.
People are taking their blood and they're getting it filtered. And then
Yes.
at the same time while you're sitting there. I'm a little bit creeped out about that, but I was like, okay. But no, those are possibilities. Endless possibilities.
Endless that we have no clue about, that we're just discovering.
We have no clue.
Hey, if you work with digital marketing, online sales, or manage clients, you know the right tool makes all the difference. I use Go High Level, and I can guarantee that this all-in-one tool brings results for all my clients. With CRM, email, SMS, automation, scheduling, landing pages, and sales funnels, integrated and easy to use, management becomes simple, productivity increases, and campaigns perform way better. If you want to grow in an organized and efficient way, access my link and see how Go High Level can also change the way you work and sell. Yeah.
No clue.
Let me ask you a question, doctor. How do you want your kids to remember you?
It's a good question. I guess I'm not the perfect person. You know, have I put my patients before my family? Yes, I have. And am I proud of it? Yes and no.
I know what you mean.
Have I missed certain practices? Have I missed certain events? But Leo, for 20 years, I was working Monday to Saturday. You know, every I would go every day, go in and stuff like that. But I guess I want to be known as a caring father that respected people, and when you needed me, I'm there. You know, people called me, like, you know, prior to this, there was people calling me from New York City that they were having issues, and I answered my phone. I give them my cell phone. You know, and
that's awesome.
And if you want my cell phone, I say, here, you can have it, but just don't call me at 4 a.m, right? But no, I want to say that I hope they think of me that I was hardworking, fair, and that I loved them to my ability as my character, as a surgeon. But I've never abandoned them. I've never done anything. I've never I hope they never felt abandoned. And I've also tried to be a good person to everybody that I know.
I love that. I think doctors struggle with that balance.
Oh, it's so hard.
Of serving the world and serving your family.
Yeah, it's been very hard. It's been very hard. It hurts me sometimes. And why do I notice this now? My daughter's 18. Like I miss certain things. Yeah, could I have been there? But it wasn't. I couldn't be there because I was in the OR doing an emergency case or doing something.
Do you think they appreciate the fact that you've worked so hard for them?
I hope so, Leo. But my kids are the different generation too. You know, hey, what are you doing right now? Oh, I'm playing video games. And I'm like, okay, what are you doing? Oh, I'm going to go out and hang out with whatchamacallit. And they're going. My daughter's going to clubs at 18 here in Fort Lauderdale. I'm like, what? Does mom know about this?
Who's allowing this?
And I'm like, I'm not signing. I don't find this kosher, but. It's a different. I think it's a different generation. They don't call. They just text. You know, like maybe you and I and Daniela will call and talk.
Yes.
But it's the attitude. Yeah, Dad. What do you want? How you been? Blah blah blah. And I'm like, can I call you? I like to hear your voice.
Yes.
You know, and they're like, no, Dad. This is cool. I'm like, okay. But it's just a different. It's just a different thing.
It is. What would you say to a student looking to become a doctor, starting that journey? Any advice, anything that you want to share that you wish you knew?
I don't know if you have like or you have like a bug on me or something like that. But to be honest with you, Leo, I'm with PAs and 3rd, 4th year med students right now at Palmetto General Hospital.
That's awesome.
Okay. You know what I tell them?
Tell me.
Get out.
Really?
Yeah.
Go find something else.
If you can. But obviously they can't.
Right.
But, you know, I'm really not I really don't tell them. Like my kids, I tell them not to even think about medicine. If you want to do it, I'll support you. Is it a great culture? Is it a great, the fraternity is great because you're helping someone,
Right.
right? You can always help.
Right.
But the funny thing is, it's the lack of appreciation from the people. You know, people revere Show Otani, you know, LeBron James, and all these other things.
I agree with you. It should be doctors up there.
Yeah.
Like there should be an Oscar for doctors.
Yeah, and believe it or not, we're the stupidest group of people.
I don't know.
We can't form a union. It's considered
Really?
collusion. You can have nurses, you can have PAs, you can have everything going on what
But you can't have a doctors union.
No, we cannot.
Collusion in what sense?
No, because we're the top of the food chain. If we stop operating, who's going to operate?
Wow.
Right? Or who's going to take care of the people?
I see.
Okay, and then
I see.
every year they kill us. They decrease our Medicare reimbursement, 3%, 5% over time.
Wow.
And then, so if you had $1 million practice and 5% is $50K, it's gone right from there.
That's
from the
crazy.
New year. And then you know how many people you have to see at $50 a consult?
A lot.
A lot. And then these med students and PAs, I say to them also, you're going to have to understand that you will become an employee of somebody. You'll never have the opportunity to be like me and start your private practice because you won't be able to do it.
Why?
Because most insurances don't really pay you very well, Leo. It's not that we want to be a gazillionaire. It's just we need to pay our office staff. We need to pay the rent. We need to pay the lights. We need to pay everything.
Right.
And as I
Plus
said,
live.
Yeah, and if you don't get paid 90, 120 days, what are you going to do? So
That's so rough.
it is. And people don't know that. But if your salary, you get paid but the problem with that is salary is a future killer, meaning success killer.
Yes.
Because you have no dream killer. That's the word. Dream
100%.
killer. You don't have any want or skin in the game to become more successful. Because if you did one surgery or you do 20 surgeries, you still get paid the same.
Yes.
So that's what, it's very, very difficult, Leo. And we're the worst and dumbest bunch of people. I'm just trying to tell you that. You know, everybody is just being hurt right now in the healthcare field.
Wow. So it's almost like it's being set up for the robots to take over.
Absolutely. That's the future. AI
Right.
and the robotic humanoids. That's the future. You're gonna see that. You're gonna see a robot help the elderly in the house. You know, it's not that far away. iRobot with
Will Smith?
Will Smith.
Yeah.
You see that robot that they
Yes,
have?
of course.
You're gonna have that in the thing, and then and
it's going to be owned by all the insurance companies.
Right.
They're going to own all the robots.
and you know how the robots are gonna what their currency is gonna be?
Bitcoin?
Yes, sir. Cryptocurrency, sir.
Yep.
That's what it is.
Yep.
And we just don't know it yet.
Trump just made a bank.
Yes.
His family made a
Yes.
crypto bank.
Yes. Yes. It's crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah. He's not stupid.
No, not at all. No. People think he is.
Yes. But
He wouldn't be president of America 2 times over being dumb.
Yes.
Just wouldn't happen.
It's just-
Say what you want about him. He's not dumb.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But the problem is like when you're hated and you're on someone's radar blacklist, they're going to hate you no matter what.
Of course.
Even if it's the right thing,
Right.
they're going to hate you regardless of what it is because Trump said it, so I don't believe anything. But regardless if you're left or right, it is what it is, but
Yeah.
something has to change in the world to help.
Yeah. Not sure what that is, but I appreciate that you are at the forefront, leading the way and serving people
I appreciate that. And I
until
appreciate-
that day comes.
Yeah, I'm very fortunate.
I'm very, very thankful that you were the doctor that did the operation on my wife. It was incredible. She is an entirely new person, and I really want to thank you for that.
No, I appreciate you having the trust and finding me. I know you have a lot of options, and but I always say that I try to treat my patients the way I want to be treated. So I hope that gets
No, and
out.
let me tell you, my wife is someone who she'll go through reviews, she'll go through websites, she'll go through doctor after doctor after doctor, and she landed on you and she fell in love with you.
Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Mr. Leo.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming on the show today, Dr. Choi. You're an incredible person. Thank you for serving the community and doing over 5,000 surgeries.
Well, it's
incredible.
been a pleasure. It's always been a pleasure for you and your wife. Anytime.
Do me a favor. Look at that camera right there. Let everyone know where they can find you, social media, website, whatever you want to share.
Sure. So my name is Dr. Mike Choi. I have an office here at 4390 North Federal Highway, Suite 206. I have an Instagram page called Dr. Mike Choi, and my phone number is 305-821-3795. Thank you so much.
The man gave out his phone number. Please be disciplined with that. Be respectful. If you have any questions about bariatric surgery, please reach out to Dr. Choi. Incredible man. Thank you, Dr. Choi. I appreciate you. Guys, like, subscribe, hit that bell notification, and we'll see you guys next time.